Oh, yes, I remember that. Mortal Kombat 3.
Have you ever had one conversation with Marvel about making a fighting game?
Yes.
What? When?
I did. But I probably shouldn't talk about it.
Are you excited about that idea?
Oh, God, yes. We would love to make like a Marvel fighting game or Marvel versus DC. I think would be the coolest.
I feel like it's a race between you and TT Games for getting that Marvel versus DC. And I'm rooting for you guys.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Will Mortal
Ladies and gentlemen, were we on the verge of a Marvel vs. DC fighting game? Thank you for checking out today's video. I just want to do some fan speculation here and just some stuff for entertainment purposes only, obviously. Because I know there was always a lot of talk about Mortal Kombat 1, and did it start out as a different game? A lot of people thought maybe it was meant to be Injustice 3 and they had to change gears very quickly. That video clip you saw right there was released right after Mortal Kombat 11 was released, and that was from an interview with Game Informer that I will link down below in the description of this video. That was 166 rapid-fire questions with Mortal Kombat 11's Ed Boon. Now, it did seem like there was at least some excitement from Ed Boon there about doing a project like that. And at the end of the day, I think it's just licensing. I don't know. You know, let me know in the comment section below. But it sounded like there had been some headway there. And with the speculation about was Mortal Kombat 1 originally a different project, I believe I heard, and I could be mistaken, but I thought I heard that data miners had confirmed that as far as the game engine for Mortal Kombat 1, it looked like after Injustice 2 had been created, they took the game engine and heavily modified it into Mortal Kombat 11's engine. And then after they heavily modified it, they, in preparation of the next game, they stripped it all down and went back to the Injustice 2 core engine that they had. They removed all the changes that they had made to update it to the Mortal Kombat 11 engine. They reverted back to the Injustice 2 engine. I believe that was confirmed by data mining. A lot of people think that was done to prepare for Injustice 3 and that maybe they switched gears really quick due to some changes. Who knows? Again, this is just fan speculation and for entertainment purposes only. Lifelong Mortal Kombat fan, so I like to discuss it. And I just wanted to throw this out there. Is there any chance that the next game was a Marvel vs. DC fighting game and that maybe licensing just fell through at the last minute? I mean, I look at Mortal Kombat 1's character designs. On the left is General Shao, and on the right is Steppenwolf, a DC character. Is there any possibility that General Shao started out as Steppenwolf? Is there any possibility that they were under the impression that they were going to be doing a Marvel game or Marvel vs. DC game that has been, I think, on Ed Boon's mind for a while, and we'll get back to that here in a little bit in the video, so hang with me here. But I look at these character designs and I wonder sometimes, is it possible that maybe Smoke started out as like a character as like Batman? Is it possible that maybe Nitaro was like Batgirl? Is it possible that Li Mei was originally Psylocke or anything like that? Is there a possibility that, you know, they were beginning to build the foundation for a Marvel vs. DC game that had been discussed and maybe just some licensing or whatever could have occurred? Things happen. You know, going back to Mortal Kombat 11, we almost had Ash Williams. And it was very close, it looked like, because it was in a couple emails that went out, I believe, as some licensing information. And I believe it was even in a in-game announcement at one point that was quickly taken down that Ash Williams was coming. So, you never know. But now that clip that I showed you, and we'll look at it once again.
Do you remember doing this flip?
What flip? Oh, yes, I remember that. Mortal Kombat 3.
Have you ever had one conversation with Marvel about making a fighting game?
Yes.
What? When?
I did. but I probably shouldn't talk about it.
Are you excited about that idea?
Oh God, yes. We would love to make like a Marvel fighting game or Marvel versus DC. I think would be the coolest.
I feel like it's a race between you and TT Games for getting that Marvel versus DC. I'm rooting for you guys.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Will Mortal
So, I mean, it sounded like something had been discussed there. Now, I want, and like I said, I'll link to that full video down below in the description. Now, that was done right after Mortal Kombat 11's release, and you never know. Now, I want to take a look at a video that the real MK Tom Brady did a while back around this same time. And he actually highlighted a lot of tweets from Ed Boon around this subject. So I'm going to play that clip for you here, and I'll link you to the real MK Tom Brady's video on this topic as well. And I just always did wonder, because a lot of people do speculate, was Mortal Kombat 1 originally started off as another project and they had to turn direction into Mortal Kombat 1? And I do want to clarify, I absolutely love MK1. It's one of my favorite games they've ever produced. The creative freedom in that game is unmatched in my opinion. However, one more thing. Well, let's take a look at the video by the real MK Tom Brady, the clip that I have ready for that. So,
way back before MK9, in 2009, Ed Boon was tweeting, "Can't stop thinking about how cool a Marvel vs. DC fighting game would be." But what's one tweet over a decade ago, right? Again, in 2013, those of you waiting on a Marvel vs. DC game can watch these awesome videos for the time being. And again, this is those, Hulk vs. Superman videos. And in 2014, it was a YouTube trailer, a fantasy trailer about Marvel vs. DC. He says, somebody should make a video game based on this. In 2017, he says, Thor and Wonder Woman, hashtag Marvel vs. DC. This is not just some random employee. This is the creative director of a major game studio. And obviously this is something he's wanted to do for well over a decade. But all these tweets are old. And then here's one that's even 2 months ago. Somebody tweets something about Marvel vs. DC. Who wins? Ed Boon says, the never-ending question. You take all this, along with the tweet that went up last night and was since deleted. This is not just a random occurrence. This is over 10 years of Ed Boon wanting to do this. And I think if the situation had presented itself, had the opportunity presented itself, he would have done it. But for one reason or another, it just didn't work out. For us to be getting this type of news now, it tells me the situation has presented itself. It's pretty much a done deal, and they're in the early stages of making it. Because also, if you look at Ed Boon's timelines, they're filled with Marvel references and Marvel references and Marvel references. There's just way too much smoke here for there not to be any fire.
now, that was in 2021, and I'll link to that video down below as well. I am not aware of what the deleted tweet was, but things, I'm sure, move fast in the video game industry behind the scenes, and especially with licensing and things of that nature. Who knows what was actually intended? For all we know, Mortal Kombat 1 was 1000% intended to be Mortal Kombat 1 from inception. Speaking of which, that's what I would have called Mortal Kombat 1. I would have called it Mortal Kombat Inception. Just because I'm a Deception fan, so I thought another game using Inception would have been cool. But one thing I wanted to point out before we go any further is I've always joked that I saw similarities between this versus game, MK versus DC Universe, and Mortal Kombat 1. What I meant by that is you have this menu on the left side, and it's basically your arcade, your online, your extras, and your settings. Now, if you go to Mortal Kombat 1, also on Mortal Kombat vs. DC, we had combo challenges. That was when the combo challenges debuted. So, you go to this game, and you got your menu on the left, you got your arcade towers, you got versus. On this game, you can customize. But similarly, this game does have combat challenges on it. And it's interesting. You know, some people said that they thought maybe, because you can go to tutorial right here and you can do combo challenges, which debuted in Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. This game also, ironically, like MK vs. DC Universe, you cannot change your attire when you go to select your character. When you go to select your character, you have to set your character design up in a different area. On MK vs. DC, you could not change your skin at the character select screen either. But I always found that interesting. Just a few things that I found coincidental with the games. Not too much, just kind of the way the screen was set up. Not too many options. You know, if you go to your extras, your audio and your video, it's just the in-game. It's just the endings. Like, that's it. Like, you don't have... This game did not have a lot of filler. We'll put it that way. And same thing with Mortal Kombat 1. It doesn't have a lot of filler. Or it doesn't have a lot of fluff around it. You know, it's basic. Just, you know, you got your fighting game. It reminds me of the arcade days. You know, you're there. It's a fighting game. Go in there and fight. That's it. But I wanted to bring this... I've wanted to do this video for a while to discuss this. Let me know in the comments section below. I remember back a long time ago, Mortal Kombat vs. DC sounded like an impossibility, and then they did it. And I know over the years I have heard rumblings of, you know, them wanting to do this. And then, like I said, right after Mortal Kombat 11 launched, we get this video clip, and I'll show it one more time.
Do you remember doing this flip?
What flip?
Ed Boon does a great flip, by the way.
Oh, yes, I remember that. Mortal Kombat 3.
Have you ever had one conversation with Marvel about making a fighting game?
Yes.
What? When?
I did.
See,
I probably shouldn't talk about it.
Are you excited about that idea?
Oh, God, yes. We would love to make like a Marvel fighting game or Marvel versus DC. I think would be the coolest.
I feel like it's a race between you and TT Games for getting that Marvel versus DC. I'm rooting for you guys.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Will Mortal Kombat...
now, let me know, at the end of that clip right there, he looked down with a smile and a smirk, almost like there was, I don't know. That's what the comment section is for. You let me know what you think. Because I know there's been a lot of speculation out there about, you know, was Mortal Kombat 1 originally a different project? Many like to speculate. I've heard online that a lot think it was originally going to be Injustice 3. Who knows? I'd like to hear from the community, because I've not heard this covered very much. But is there any possibility that the game actually was... that the game engine itself was being prepped for a potential Marvel vs. DC game, and maybe is there any possibility that they began working on a couple characters? You know, is there any possibility that General Shao has an axe? Because it was originally Steppenwolf. You know, this is, who knows? Again, this is just for, you know, fan theory speculation and for entertainment purposes only, but what if General Shao started out as Steppenwolf? What if Smoke started out as Batman? What if Natara started out as Batgirl? And what if Li Mei started out as Psylocke? What if Marvel vs. DC was a game that we were going to get? You know, we'll never know, but it's interesting. I know a lot of people do think that Mortal Kombat 1 started out as a different project. Let me know in the comment section below what you think. Let me know if you think there's any possibility that we could have maybe... Was there potentially a project that NRS thought that they might be getting the opportunity to do a Marvel vs. DC game, and maybe things just fell through at the last minute, and maybe they were just, okay, we'll move on to the next game as fast as we can, and maybe they just were told, have it ready by X amount of time. And, you know, we have no idea what happened. You know, I know they're working hard over there. I know I enjoy Mortal Kombat 1. And I personally enjoy that every Mortal Kombat game is different, and I love that every time we get a new game by them, we don't know what it's going to play like until we get that very first tease. I always found that very exciting, and I hope they keep it up. I know it's hard to rebuild the system each time and release the game, like 100% polished and finished, and I'm very understanding about that. So, but I'd like to hear what y'all think down in the comment section below. Is there any chance that Marvel vs. DC was a project that they thought they were going to be able to do, and maybe plans fell through, and maybe they just moved focus to Mortal Kombat 1 after plans fell through? I found the clips interesting. Hope you did as well. I'm going to link to both of those videos down below in the description. As always, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash that like button down below. If you didn't, hit that dislike button. Make sure you are subscribed if you want to keep up with the future content. I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Thank you for checking out the video once again. I'm going to head out for now, but as always, my friends, I will see you on the next Mortal Kombat video.